Hi, everybody. This is Gregory Lewandowski, and I am back with another tip about how to not get a job. So instead of moving on to tip number 7, which is where we are, we're actually going to go back to tip number 4, and we'll call this tip number 4.1. In tip 4, I talked about the cover letter and why you should always include one, why you should not use a standard cover letter, why staring at a blank page is difficult, and why you should always ensure that you customize the letter. I also introduced to everybody my Chat GPT or GPT cover letter generator, but I was remiss in actually providing you any information about how to use it, tips and tricks and how to use it, etc. So we're going to solve that problem right now. And the first thing we'll do, and I will be sure to include this link once again, is go to the cover letter generator. But let's from here go right in and edit the GPT. I just want to show you, it's pretty simple to create, and it's hard to make really good though. But in this case, there's a title, a description, but I want to point out the instructions. These were partially created when automatically when I created the GPT, but I did edit them quite a bit to make it do what I want it to do. And the first thing I'll point out is that I want this GPT to, number one, act as a master resume writer, which is a certification, as somebody who has 25 years of experience and is considered the best person in the world to write a cover letter. I also want to point out that this is going to come at you as a one-on-one conversation, and it will ask a number of questions, including username and a number of other questions in this section here, which include job title, company name, company website, etc. So let's go right back to the GPT itself, and I will go ahead and show you how we use it. So first thing we will do is we will tell it I would like to write a cover letter for an exec role at Microsoft. And the first thing it should do is come back to me and ask for my name. So in this case, I am Gregory Lewandowski. Let's make sure that we spell it right and send it back up to GPT. And the next thing it will do is ask for the resume. So here's where I'm going to provide you with another tip. I've created something that I call my all-encompassing resume. And the way that I did this was I went back through every single could find over the last 20, 25 years of my career. And I identified every single company, every single job, and every single role that I held. I went through every significant and insignificant achievement, accomplishment, task that I did during those roles. It was actually a very good exercise because I found that there were several things that were pertinent to roles that I was applying for that I simply forgot that I had done because it was so many years ago, or there were so many other things that were overshadowing it. But they were pertinent to very specific roles that I was applying to. So it did take me about half a day to create that. The way that I did it was took each resume and stacked on top of each other each of the roles so that I could then deduplicate them, that I could raise them up by making them a little bit more strategic sounding. I merged tasks together so that things that were similar were brought together themselves. A couple of other things, but it's nothing that you can't do through ChatGPT. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we will take that resume, that all-encompassing resume I talked about, and we will upload this to ChatGPT or to this GPT itself. And it will begin to ask me a couple of other questions. So to proceed in crafting a cover letter, specify the type of role you're targeting. So in this case, I have gone up to the Microsoft site and I found this role. This is the title of it. And we'll go ahead and input that information. Next, could you please provide the company's website? So let's see here. We have Microsoft's website here, and I will take a little initiative here. It's likely to ask me this anyways, but I always like to be sure that I include it. I want to include the culture page from this company as well, so that when it writes the cover letter, it can begin to align my belief system with the culture of that company. It's now asking me for a link to the job description, which I also have up here. We'll go ahead and provide that right there. Upload that, and I believe the final thing it should do is ask for my LinkedIn profile, which is right here. We'll paste that right in, click upload or go or enter, whatever you want to call it. And it's now telling me that it has all of the necessary information to craft a tailored cover letter for this particular role. And we can see as we go through it, it is well structured. It talks about expressing my interest for this particular role. It talks about my career that spanned 2 decades. My experience aligns well to the mission, and it repeats the mission to empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more. And then it goes and talks about some of my previous roles, some of the accomplishments that I've done there, whether I was at Able or Primer or Citrix or Cisco. So from here, we can go ahead and copy this, and we can move this right into, in this case, a Google document. And lastly, what you will want to do is edit this, okay? This does not put it into a simple and easy format that you can just fly right off the shelf. You can see that it includes some code here that will, is another coding language that signifies bolding, but ultimately, this is yours, right? This just helps you get started, but the final product is yours. So you need to edit it to make sure that, number one, it fits into a single page, and number two, expresses things exactly as you would like them to be, whether you want links in here, whether you want to call out the Microsoft Corporation and the website itself. It's completely up to you. But starting with something other than a blank page is always a great way to go. So I will once again tell you that AI is 10% technology and 90% people. And I will thank you for paying attention and for the encouragement you've given me in this video series. So thank you very much. I hope you have a great day.